Yo, what's up, everyone? Aggressive handshaking, aggressive hand movements. We're going to get into today's topic, and that is Fallout 76. And I have been having a hell of a time playing this game with friends, with my wife, with the community. It has been amazing. But first, my first introduction to this game, it was big letdown. Like, I was just so upset when this game came out, and I remember when they announced it and they went into depths about talking about it and saying like, hey, you know, this game's going to be bigger, bigger scale. We're going to make it multiplayer. And when I heard those things, my red flags were going up immediately. I was like, I've never once thought of Fallout as like, oh yeah, I'd like put multiplayer in that game. Like that is what this is missing, is a multiplayer experience. Never said that, so I was very nervous, and I was really curious how Bethesda was going to pull this off. And they didn't at first. When the game first came out, it was a mess. I'm sure people have seen the videos and people talking about it and the reviews, and yeah, it was not fun. I played a little bit of it, and then I hopped out, like, almost instantly. The world just felt so empty. It didn't feel like a Fallout game, in the sense of, like, I guess it felt like a Fallout game, but more or less it didn't feel like a good developed world like the other Fallouts, like Fallout 3, like Fallout New Vegas, even like 4 too. Like, all these worlds were fully fleshed out. Of course they have their Bethesda issues, which I feel like is almost kind of a character of Bethesda to have all these kind of weird bugs and stuff. But yeah, just like a lot of the stuff was missing, and I remember like slowly keeping up on the updates about it, like, oh, they're adding NPCs, and oh, they're adding this update and this and these types of events. And it never really got me to come back. It was like kind of just keeping an eye on it and checking it out and seeing what they were offering. But it never really brought me back to the game. That was until I had a chance to watch the Fallout TV show. Super hyped for the show. I've been a huge Fallout fan since I got into it when I first played Fallout 3. I was addicted to hoarding all types of materials, decorating my house, all this kind of stuff you could do in Fallout 3. And yeah, like, I fell in love with the universe. I think it had a good take on an apocalyptic world. I think it had the right amount of seriousness, and then also you could be silly, right? These silly things would happen in this world, or you have a railway rifle. I can't say that right. A railway rifle. Bam, we did it. We did it together. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Having a chance to watch the show and get into it, and, you know, they fucking nailed it. Like, they knocked this world out of the park. And that is, like, the hardest thing I think they could have done, that they tasked themselves with when making this show. And they nailed it. Like, every aspect of it. Like, you know, when Lucy first gets injured and she uses the stem peck, and you hear the sound, you're like,
shut up and take my money.
For like, they are taking this as it is, right? Like, they were able to adapt the game to the show perfectly without, like, oh, this is a stem peck. What does it do? How does it work? We don't need to know that. I've never had to know how that worked. Like, even playing the game, like, I'm like, oh, cool, you stab yourself with this. Oh, you get health. Okay, cool, simple, like, done. You know. Same thing with the show. Like, I've never noticed that, and watching the show and, like, finishing it, and just, it was incredible. And I got the craziest itch to play all these games again. I climbed out of the vault.
Today, Junior?
Right? Dug out of the vault, and I was like, let's give Fallout 76 a chance. I went back and tried it, and I gotta say, I'm impressed. I was, you know, I'm impressed with how they had kind of a comeback, right? Not on the scale as No Man's Sky for sure, but that's fine. No Man's Sky is a different beast, but they had a great comeback. In this game, I've been pouring hours into this game. I think I'm at like 100 hours. I've just been every day off, just playing it nonstop, right? Like almost 10 hours a day, just fucking pumping it out, playing it, having fun with the events, the mechanics, the community. The community's just crazy nice. Everyone's super cool in the community. Have no issues with that, which can be like kind of a big thing with multiplayer games, is communities kind of can be toxic. But I find with the Fallout fan base, it has been nothing but just warm welcomes and people giving you stuff and like helping you out. Like, it's just been incredible. I've had a fun time playing it and diving into that world. The map's incredible. I love everything going on in the world. The enemies, Because you got to remember, for me, it was like I've experienced it when it was like empty and dead, and so like to have the world have all kinds of new life and all these different enemies, all these different events, just it's been a stockpile of just fucking epicness and just fun. One of the coolest things recently is just exploring all over the place, right? I'm finding myself in all these crazy situations, getting attacked by feral ghouls, getting attacked by blood devils, you know, all that fun Fallout stuff I feel like is now in this game. I feel like you have different factions, different enemy types that just make a mixture of different situations, you know. I'm panicking for my life because it's not like the other Fallout games when you bring up your Pip-Boy, the game stops, right? You have to, like this one, you have to just fucking go, oh, fuck, okay, I'll select this, bam, okay, I got this weapon, I'm gonna fight these enemies, I'm gonna loot real quick. Like, it ups the ante, I feel like, on the combat of the game. It makes it a lot more intense. I think with this, they took it a step further and added all these different creatures, and you know, they added all these cryptid creatures, which is super cool. And of course, you have your classic death claws, which everyone's afraid of. You have the Yao Guai, you know, all that stuff in this game is incredible, and I've been having so much fun. Whether I'm getting my ass chewed on by a Yao Guai or getting thrown around by a death claw, like I'm having fun. All right, like it's just always fun to be in those kind of situations, and you know, bring out the biggest gun and start blowing people up and blowing things up and all that. And like I said, the creatures are, I think, a step up from all the other games, in my opinion. I feel like they're kind of crazy. There's some enemies that I like don't like to fight. I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna run past you because I don't want to fight you. I don't want to bother with you, you know. But yeah, I think having the combat in the way that it is, and it's been just so much fun. I've had such a blast playing this game and like enjoying those little experiences and those situations where I'm just like hanging out with friends and we're running up the hill and it's like, oh shit, there's super mutants. We're fighting the super mutants, and then bam, out comes a Deathclaw or something like that. You know, like it's just the typical Fallout wasteland Mojave. Appalachia experience, you know, where you're just in those worlds getting absolutely destroyed, and then also destroying because you feel good, you know, you got a new weapon or something like that and you're able to take out enemies or a camp. But I think it makes those experiences fun, and I've been having a lot of fun with those experiences. Another thing that I initially didn't like and couldn't, I think it's also because I didn't understand and didn't take the time to understand, was the card system. I did not like that, right? I like the Fallout 3, the Fallout New Vegas, where you level up and you get a certain amount of points, and then you can put those points into whatever you want to kind of build your character. And I feel like whenever you were able to do that, I felt like that was more being able to make my character the way I want to make my character, and making it, you know, if I want to put points in healing or like medical, I'll do that so that my stem packs and all my chems and stuff like that are buffed and they heal me more and stuff. Or if you want to put in lock picking, be able to lock pick anything and, you know, be a little thief and steal everything, like you can play that way. This, you can still do it in this game, but it's like, it's a little bit more interesting, I think, because you can swap out cards and do builds, and you can swap whatever build you want to do. So if you want to build towards energy weapons or something like that, like you could totally do that. Like for me, I'm an asshole and I like to grab almost everything I can grab, and then I'm over encumbered constantly. And so with that, what I like to do is I like to do the strong back card, and I'll put that on, and I'll just like, you know, it's really fun to kind of just like swap between cards, and it's like, oh, okay, I'm kind of bored of this kind of play style. Let me do this, because like for me, I'm all over the place. Like I like using shotguns, like I like using energy weapons, like I'm kind of all over the place, which kind of in the long run sometimes sucks because I'm undecided. But I like that because with the card system you can do that. You can be undecided and go, okay, I'll swap this card for this, upgrade this, and then you have your legendary perks, which are fucking, those are really cool. Once those start opening up, it's just a whole other way to experience the game, and it's honestly a lot of fun. Another key thing to this game and to any Fallout game is the weapons, right? That's what we love. We come to these games because they have such iconic weapons as the laser rifle, the plasma rifle, like all these cool guns, and then you come to 76 and it's just a plethora of other different types of weapons from that world, you know, from Appalachia. And I think that's one of the coolest things, is getting a new gun, trying it out. Oh, holy shit, it's way stronger than the gun I was using. Like just the weapon designs look super cool. I love a lot of the addition to the weapons. You know, you have all the cultist weapons, you have all the Nuka weapons, which I think are so fucking sick. Which you can win from the Nuka events, which are once again, the events in this game are super fun. And anytime you see them kind of pop up, you're like, oh shit, I want to go to that, because you can get a plan, or you can get something new for your camp. You can get points and then buy. You know, like for me right now, I'm trying to collect these Nuka weapons because I have my own little Nuka shop that I got it all set up, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put that here, this here, that here. Like, it's gonna look super cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's another good thing about this game, and something that like I'm actually trying to do. Like remember having that feeling from Fallout 3, right, where I'm trying to collect these things, or I want to collect the stuff in game because I feel like it's cool, or stuff like that. And with 76, I get that same kind of feeling, like, oh, I want this gun. Oh shit, I can make a display for it in my house. Oh yeah, that's going right above the couch right there. You know, anyone tries to mess with me, I'll just grab it. You know, jump on my couch, grab my shotgun out, give them the 1-2 smackaroo. For me, this is one of the coolest things about this game, is going to other people's camps, right? And it's crazy because you can see the people that have been playing this since day one. I mean, and those people, thank you, because I'm running around, I'm spending my hard-earned caps on your Stempex. For the longest time, I didn't have a recipe to make Stempex or whatever, or a plan. And so I was running around like, oh, I'll go to this place. Oh, I'll go to this place. And just explore what they have. Like, oh, they have bobbleheads? Oh, shit, I want some bobbleheads. I'll buy some bobbleheads. Like, that's the coolest thing, is seeing all these different unique items that people are having to sell. And then it's cool too, because you can do the same thing. Like, for me, it's always nice seeing those little cap icons come up and be like, oh, 15 caps, oh, 20 caps, someone's buying my shit. Hell yeah. Like, that's a good feeling, you know? It's just an extra little way to make money on the side. But then you also get to see people's creativity and like what they have at their camps. And for me, that's one of the cool things, is going to someone's camp and going like, oh, how did they get that? That looks super cool. It's like a Deathclaw head or something like that, or a Scorch Queen head, or different types of lights or buildings. You're like, oh, I want that. That's super cool. Which brings me to our next topic, is the Atomic Shop. I like the Atomic Shop, and be honest with you. I like the way that it's laid out. I do wish they would kind of reset items more. But for the most part, it's really cool going in there and seeing like, oh shit, there's this, and you earn atoms playing the game, so it's just kind of fun doing the season challenges and doing the normal daily challenges and event challenges. Right now, trying to run through the Abraxo spring cleaning challenge. I just got the backpack, so I'm like, you know, I'm ready to sanitize the wasteland. For me, one of the fun parts of this game as well is building my base, right? Like going to other people's bases, checking out other people's bases, seeing like, oh, you did this? Okay, how am I going to do this? Like, I want to do this. That's a fun thing. Or going through the game and getting plans, and it's like, oh, you get a plan to make a dumpster. It's like, well, I'm going to rush back to camp, see what this dumpster looks like, and I'm going to make it. Like, that's fun, and I like building. Actually, the other day, I actually hit the cap, which is kind of annoying. I'm like, oh, I have like 3 different houses, so it kind of makes sense. But it's nice to be able to articulate where you want things. Or right now the alien event's going on, so like to put like an alien test tube with an alien inside of it, super cool. Like, come on, it's like another way of rewarding yourself, of getting these kind of items and building your base. Like, I built my whole office, and it's, you know, next to it I have the Nuka-Cola bottles. Like, I'm collecting them. Like, once again, like the little vault dweller in me is like, I gotta collect this, I gotta put this up, I gotta hang this up. Like, it's just cool to come to your camp and have other people come to your camp and check it out. It's just a fun way to once again develop a community and to have fun with people and just kind of experience the building. For me, I love building and crafting and stuff in games, so I think that's an essential part of Fallout 76. But it's also, I guess, not essential. Like, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But I feel like at the end of the day, you're going to get something that you're like, oh, that's sick, I want to build that. Like, all the neon signs, you can throw them on your house and stuff, and it just makes it look cool. And I found out that you can get a lot of plans and buy a lot of plans from doing events, and then also like going to other people's bases. I'm not gonna lie, some people overcharge some things, and you know who you are. You guys 100% know who you are, but that's okay. You know, I'm gonna at least buy 1 or 2 things. But yeah, like going from where my base started to now is totally different. Like, I love my base, especially at night. You know, I have the tiki torches going on. I have the Nuka-Cola truck sitting there waiting. You know, I have a whole Nuka-Cola dedicated area where you can sit, enjoy Nuka-Cola, hang out with your friends, fight some Deathclaws, or, you know, get fucked by Deathclaws. Whatever floats your boat. I mean, if you want to die, you know, that's cool too. Once again, I think that goes with like the universe of Fallout, right? Is like all these cool things like Nuka-Cola Quantums, and you can get these inflatable balloons, and it's just like super cool to have that in your own backyard. So for me, like, the crafting has been really fun, and I've been loving the building. I think for me too, initially playing Fallout 76, I think a lot of the story, like the story was kind of, I didn't enjoy it personally. I didn't like the whole overseer thing. And I felt like there was not a lot of side quests and just overall fun things to do in the world. And then revisiting it, I've been having a blast. Like, there was a quest I was doing where I went into this cave and there was not one but two Deathclaws coming after me, and I was fighting for my life. I was jumping all over the rocks like, oh, you can't get me. And then, you know, that scary moment when they start climbing up the rock and you're just like, well, I'm fucked. This is it. This is how this ends. Stuff like that is good. I love that. Like, that is so much fun. As I'm getting my ass beat by a Deathclaw, I'm sitting here like, this is fun. I like this. So I think a lot of the quests are a lot more engaging, and I care about some of these quests. And, you know, for me, that's one of the great things Fallout usually has to offer, right? Is these quests. You know, that's the whole reason you're playing this game for the most part, is doing these quests for these characters that you like. And then they talked about you could launch your own nuke. That hooked me, all right? That's when you, like, got me. I'm like,
hands over your head, keep low to the ground. Time to duck and cover, the bombs are coming down.
I'm very interested in that because, you know, you have the Fat Man in Fallout where you can launch mini nukes. You have the Fat Man Merv that launches like 8 nukes, right? Super cool. But then you take that to the next level and you're like, what's cooler than shooting these mini nukes? Launching your own nuke. You become death. Destroyer of worlds, right? That is like, oh, cool. And the sad thing is whenever I got the game, like, that's what I was looking forward to. And then I was like, I didn't have a lot of friends that played the game at launch, and I was like, well, I'm never gonna do that. I can now check that off my Fallout bucket list. Me and a friend, we went through, we did the quest, and we launched a nuke, and it was so cool. Like, it was, you know, of course, after I did the mission, I got like a bunch of rewards and I was over encumbered. I'm like, oh fuck, I want to take all this stuff off so I can go and travel to where my nuke is going to launch and watch. And it's funny because I ended up doing that. I dropped the stuff that made me overweight and I teleported over there. And the first thing I do is I'm like panicking because I'm like, oh, I need to find my nuke. I need to, like, because I fell down on one of the ditches and I'm like, oh, I can't find my nuke. And I get there, and the first thing I do is I go into photo mode, and I take a photo of myself with a thumbs up behind the nuke. Incredible experience, and that, for me, that actually made me really happy. To be able to coming back to this game and do all these cool events that I've missed out on during the launch, and just over the years of the game developing more and adding more stuff and the developers putting their kind of heart and soul into the game, I see that now. I see that in this game, right? Like, and for me as a Fallout fan, like, to have the Fallout TV show, to have these successes and then come back to this game and like go, this game is really fun. Like, I really like this game. But going back to the nuke, like, I'm still stoked that I was able to launch it. Like, that is so cool. That was, the whole process was just super fun. And I had a blast launching it. And then I found out that is how you activate raid bosses. Which, how do you top launching a nuke? But like, oh, that's super cool. You get to launch a nuke. Yeah, now you get to fight a raid boss. So I had a chance to fight the Scorch Queen. And then eventually down the line, we were able to launch another nuke. And we had a chance to participate in the Wendigo boss, which was, that one was pretty freaking hectic because you have all these Wendigos all over the place and you have everyone running around in power armor. You're just like, oh, I'm trying to shoot this thing and trying to kill it. We were able to successfully do that, which was once again incredible. I have thoroughly enjoyed these events and these challenges that are in this game, and just these bosses. You know, I think Fallout with the bosses can be kind of not a letdown, but I don't think they're more prominent in the sense of like other games where it's like, oh, holy shit, this is a boss. Okay, this is crazy. But I think with this game, like, you're fighting this Wendigo with 3 heads. You're fighting this Scorch Queen, which is like, oh, there's all these different Scorch beasts around the world that you're used to fighting, and then you fight this queen who just is insane. But yeah, I mean, I'm so glad I took the jump back into the game, playing it with friends. I think my favorite part about the game is not only is it a Fallout game, but I like existing in a world where my friends are also present. I don't have to do quests with them or anything like that for this game to be fun. It's more of just existing and like, oh shit, okay, you're over here too. Let's clear out this town full of ghouls or super mutants and stuff like that. Or, oh hey, the alien event's going on right now. Like, let's go do that. Like, we've been doing a lot of the alien event recently just because of the plans and stuff you get. Having a blast with that, right? Like, killing the aliens and stuff like that is super cool. I've always been a big fan of the Mothership Zeta DLC in Fallout 3, so to have it, have them in Fallout 76 and killing aliens and General Zeta and stuff, super fun. Just, I'm so glad I jumped back in this game, and if you haven't yet, I highly recommend it. It's super fun, and they changed so much. Like, I was really skeptical at launch, and coming back to this game now, I've just been having infinite amount of fun with this game.
Dude, I can't see with this thing on. You're not paying me enough damn caps. I quit. You're here for my union.